back to Warrior's Garden. Pleasure to have you along for this journey. I'm ready to get started planting. I'm going to plant my first big project today, and that is over in that empty side yard that I showed you. I'm going to start. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put a couple of small raised beds in, and we're going to plant some plants. But the plants I've chose for this particular beds are dragon fruit, of all things. I've never grown a dragon fruit in my life. Yeah, we're also going to put some strawberries around the base, use that area for strawberries, and some herbs. So let's go get started and we'll see how it turns out. But this is the back garden now. Now I can actually garden because of the HOA rules. And you can see that I'm in full swing and trying to get this planted in. One of the first things I got was this fantastic little composter, which we will be using to make dirt and waste less. So hopefully that works out. I've composted before, but not with a barrel like that. It was always in a big pile in places I've owned in the past. I've already planted some lavender. We have some strawberries, cilantro, and thyme that I'm going to be putting into one of those raised beds down there. So the pavers stop at the gate there. The backyard we haven't really touched. But now what I'm doing is I'm putting in these raised beds for a couple of dragon fruit, and then I plan to companion plant. I don't know how much of a companion they actually are, but I'm going to plant some herbs and strawberries around the base and try and use as much of that real estate as I can. We chose this location because the dragon fruit will get the sun it needs, I hope, and still be protected from the winter frost if it comes, but also the sun won't cook it to death, as it will have some reprise from the sun as it sets. To do the raised beds was actually pretty simple, and I'm pretty happy with the products we use. These I got from Home Depot and Lowe's. It's 2x6 cedar boards and these castle blocks that interlock, and then we used rebar to hook them to the ground. So turned out really happy. Right now I'm sifting some dirt from the gravel and backfilling a bit, and then I'm going to put some raised bed soil in. I also am putting in, as you can see, the tubing, a drip system, but since my actual drip system box is far on the other side of the house, and I don't really want to dig up this entire yard to lay some more tubing, I decided to go into my spigot that I have on the side yard. So the spigot is right there, and what I did is I put a brass tee in, and then I put a beehive controller. So I'm already using beehive for my drip system. I have that controller inside, or actually is on the side of the house. You probably saw it as I walked by. It works fantastic with my phone. I can control it from anywhere in the world as long as I have internet, and check the status of my garden. So that's where we are now. Not much has changed in the back. It is pretty much the same. I hope that gives you a little insight into what we're doing. Okay, so I finished it. We'll see how it works out. I have some concerns. I've got my drip in and it's dripping. I know they don't like boggy ground, but damp ground, so we'll see how they do. I companion planted some marigolds, keep the bugs away. I've got cilantro and thyme in this one. And I have, over in this one, I have strawberries. And then of course the marigolds. So we'll see how they do. Some of the concerns I have is, if you notice this gravel, we haven't lived in this house very long. There is not a weed growing in this gravel. So I don't know if this ground was treated with something. That has me a little concerned. I guess we'll see. If nothing grows, then I don't know. I'll have to take it from there. Check with the experts and see what can be done. But hopefully it's just a pre-emergent that was put down and not something that killed the ground. That's my number one concern. The other concerns I have, well, I have a concern about the location. I hope I chose well. We'll see if that works out with the sun. And then I've got to watch the drainage as I develop this a little bit more, keep the grade right so that when we have the monsoon season, the water goes out where it needs to go. So, and doesn't get too boggy back here. All right, if you have any suggestions or ideas, please let me know. If I'm really screwing up, let me know, and I'll see what I can do to fix it. I like these blocks. I may have done them wrong, but so far they're holding up. I've got rebar down the center to hold them in place, and I don't know if there's a better way to do that. I thought about mortar and using the groove in them to mortar them together, but we'll leave it with that right now. All right, thank you for joining me on this adventure, and hopefully it turns out well.